God asked a real interesting question. Who was a better bassist to me out of Bernard Edwards and Marcus Miller? Oh man, this is a heavyweight and this is very compelling. Big fan of both of them for different ways. Bass player is gonna get in on it. Bernard Edwards, with him and Nile Rodgers and Tony Thompson's drum licks, the rhythm section of Cheek, well, you always knew that sound, that groove. Bernard Edwards had the chug along, boom, it had that percussion thing going, had a jazz rock fusion thing there that you could hear in the intricacies. But the rhythm was so polished and so smooth that it could work for Roxy music. That's one of the reasons why a lot of the British acts wanted to work with Edwards and Rogers and that sound, because that sound had a funky groove, but yet it was smooth. It went down. You can't even describe it. It had a hard bottom, boom, boom, like good time, boom. But it had such a clean feel. He's one of the most unique bass players I ever heard, that when you hear him thump and groove, when you hear the groove, but yet it's so smooth. I mean, it rolled off like it was layered in like jazz. It was a really distinctive sound, And so Bernard Edwards definitely put down the foundation for the modernized groove in a way which loaned itself to what I'd say more sophisticated. He took on the because if you listen to Chic sound, it wouldn't have sound out of place with Cab Calloway and a swing groove, but yet modernized where it could loan itself to early hip hop records and things of that nature. So it was a balance. You heard a Fourier where it was but it had an edge, but yet it was smooth. It's a unique thing. It is a very unique thing. It's almost hard to describe it, but it was an interesting fusion. But that's where someone like Marcus Miller comes around, because Marcus Miller, if you remember with Never Too Much of Luther Vandross, that's his opening bass riff with that boom, 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 boom. You hear that groove, and then you hear him working with David Sanborn, and then you working with Miles Davis. And then he's taking on doing New Jack Swing, different intricacies, different intricacies, different way he could groove, different way he could put it down. Um, he and of course let's not forget, I mean, you working with Luther Vandross, you working with a whole lot of people, very talented cat, very versatile. So what it comes down to is like, if I'm going by the iconic, the big iconic, the with the catalog of what who hit you like that, Bernard Edwards is gonna win that argument, because come on now, the Chic songs and the Donna Ross and all that, and the Sister Sledge, all that. Come on now, those are timeless. We're going by versatility with your musicianship and modernize your sound and where you're going, and people are dignifying, knowing you. I gotta say Marcus Miller. I like them both, but they hit you in two different ways with scary versatility. But you can definitely see that Marcus was a student of Bernard Edwards. And Bernard Edwards was like that dude that really took it to a modern set, but yet had like a throwback vibe, but yet it was, it had a very distinctive sound, because some cats, when you hear them playing bass, they sound like they're in their time period. And then when I heard Bernard Edwards play, it's like you can add so many different sonics to it. Because listen, what he did on Good Times became the foundation for rappers, the Life of Sugar Hill Gang, but also it was a strong groove that allowed itself to pulsate for hip hop, but also it wasn't out of place for pop acts as well. It was a very distinctive groove that had a commercial vibe, but it still had a rawness, but yet it was still polished enough. It's an uncanny ability to pull off the two. And Marcus Miller was able to play in those intricacies, but create work in the fusion. So it's an interesting debate. And it all comes down to what your preference is, what your styling is, and how it rolls. That's the best way I can answer it for you. Please like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for another. Share it if you like, and hit that membership. Because when you do requests like this come true, stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. I'm out. Peace.